Here we are. All right. Good evening. Welcome everybody to this Discover Arbonne. So we're just going to take the next 20 minutes or so, keep it super short and sweet. I love that whether you're watching this live or the recording, that you're just wanting to have a little more info of what is this Arbonne thing and why should I care? Why should I be interested? And do I want to, kind of just see if this is a fit for me. So my name is Lisa License. I am a regional vice president with Arbonne. I've been in Arbonne about 5.5 years, which is so crazy. And I was asked a question 5.5 years ago when I came to my first Arbonne event. And it's a question that I like to ask folks because I hadn't thought of it in my 37 years of life. I really hadn't thought of it. And it's a pretty good question. So basically, are you spending your time how you want to be spending it? With who you are spending it? I mean, are you spending it with who you want to, doing the things you want to do? And if no, then, this might be a vehicle to move you closer to that, a vehicle to help close that gap. To get you from the place where you are to maybe the place that you want to be, or the place that you thought you would be by now, or whatever. It can be a vehicle for so many things. So we're going to take the next few minutes to kind of talk about like how does that happen? How is this opportunity? How is doing Arbonne, quote unquote, able to do that? How are you able to close that gap with something like this? Because I was super skeptical. When it was brought to me, I was like, oh, I've seen these things in the past, and I was not at all looking for a hobby, but I was looking. I was about 5.5 months pregnant with my son, and we actually had tried a couple of years to have him. And so super grateful that we, here I was pregnant, but like didn't plan very well. Like, oh, once this baby comes, I'm going to have to like throw him in daycare. And not that daycare is like a bad gig, but for us, it felt like heartbreaking to have to see my baby for like 3 hours a day after we had tried so hard to have him. And so when Arbonne came across my plate, I wasn't looking for this as the opportunity, but it just made so much sense. It kept checking the boxes. So I would ask you to just lean in, listen to the information tonight, and just get your questions answered. So Arbonne, like who are we? What is this Arbonne thing? We are actually, we're almost a 40-year-old company. We were started in 1980 by an absolute visionary, complete visionary who, and I think that's important. I think it's important to know like what our heritage is. If people, there are so many network marketing companies kind of popping up all over the place, to really know that Arbonne has been around a really long time. We are stable. We're not going anywhere. And I think that's really important when you're looking at kind of, anywhere you want to spend your time. You want to know if you're spending it with a really solid company. So we were founded by this man who had an incredible vision of healthy products, wanting to get healthy products to as many people as possible. And he wanted to do it in a way where the people who were really working to help get those products out, they were the ones who were getting paid to do that. So essentially, he wanted to make it sound, it was women primarily in the beginning, but he wanted to do it in a way that made women millionaires. And here's why. When you give people who care about other people, when you give them resources, it changes the world. So that's another question. Like if you were given an opportunity to change thousands of lives, would you take it? Because that's what this is. And so what he did is start this company 38 years ago. And he started it with, really important, he started it with this amazing ingredient philosophy. So he knew that there were really not great things in personal care. And so he knew that if you could formulate to cleaner products, that you would be able to just change the health of people drastically. So he decided to adhere to the European Union standards right from the get-go. And so what that means, you guys, and I had no clue about this. I'm a dietitian. I thought I knew all there was to know. Like I know all these things. I use great products because I spend a ton of money on them. Turns out that is not actually a guarantee that your products are safe. So European Union bans about 1,500 chemicals. And by comparison, the FDA, like that's our governing body. So anything you buy off a shelf in the US there's about 10 ingredients that are banned. So huge difference. And then Arbonne goes above and beyond that and bans another 500. So we ban about 2,000 chemicals. And so what that means, why that matters, is that what you put on your skin in about 30 seconds or so, 60% of it is in your bloodstream. So when you think about all the products you use throughout the day, that it's this low level exposure over and over and over again from just kind of your daily do. And so that's what Arbonne does. And when I heard Arbonne reduces that, we just like, by swapping things out, you're dramatically reducing your exposure to those things. And when I heard that, I was like, oh, that just makes, first of all, I was like freaked out. I was like, oh no, now I got to change a bunch of things. And I just didn't come here to like make my life more busy. This is ridiculous. But then it turns out that Arbonne, you're able to just swap things out, order online, have it delivered to you. And then you are just making your house a way safer place. So I was originally, I was getting all this information from a nurse. And so I was like, all right, so I believe you. So that was floored me at first of all, was like this ingredient philosophy and why it mattered. And the second thing that she said was that she replaced her income in about 3 months as a labor delivery nurse. And that was also like, oh, what? I just had never heard that anyone making any money in this. I think, I had been to a few things. I grew up seeing them and they just looked like a big, huge pain in the butt that I did not have time for. So if you're thinking that's what this is, it isn't. It isn't at all. And so we'll talk more about why it's not that and what it actually is. So Arbonne also, we are the number one brand globally for healthy living inside and out. That is a really, really big deal. That is ours. That is our title alone. There are a lot of network marketing companies out there that have some nutrition, they have some skincare, they have some nutrition and skincare. No one has what we have to the degree of safety that we have that's been around as long as we have. So when people ask, like, how does Arbonne compare to XYZ? It's really that we have got over 300 products it's balanced nutrition and balanced skincare and our ingredient philosophy and then our heritage. It's like a quadruple threat, like beyond. I mean, it's just crazy what we've got. So within those 2,000 ingredients, some of the biggies that are banned. So we are 100%, and this goes across every product we have. We're gluten-free, dairy-free, soy-free. We are non-GMO. We are cruelty-free. We have no artificial flavors, sweeteners, colors, dyes, fragrances, no parabens, no phthalates, no mineral oil. There is just, the list goes on and on and on of what we do not have. And guys, it's kind of tricky. You'll see a lot of products these days where it's like, I think it was even like Mr. Bubble or some kind of kids bath was like now paraben free. And it's like, that's great, but how many other things are in there? So basically I like to say like, either it's European Union standard or it's not. It's kind of a black and white because you can take a few things out, but then what about those other, 1,900 chemicals? And so that, rest assured, there's this whole business piece that's like 1,000 times better than that. But rest assured, like the products that if you decide to be a customer, a client, a connector, know that the products you're surrounding yourself with are going to be really healthy products. They're clean products. And then know that if you decide to go like the business route with this and open your own store, that you're going to be helping people. Really helping people swap out what they're currently using so they can be healthier. So that's amazing. So just feel really good about the products. And if you haven't tried them yet, get with the person who asked you on this and have them get you on some products right away because they're incredible once you try them. I was like freaked out when I first started. I was like, oh, I'm going to have to give up my Pureology and my Lancome, and I'm going to have to give up like my MAC and my Almond. And I was like very pleasantly surprised. I'm one of those weirdos who I bottle my own shampoo and conditioner and bring them to hotels because I want to know what I'm using. It's like, I freak out if I don't have my shampoo and conditioner and all my goodies with me, my Arbonne goodies. I would use it even if I didn't get paid to use it. Okay, so how do you get paid to use it? Like, what does that even look like? So what you do, it's actually really simple. All you do is you stop buying what you're currently buying. So I stopped buying all those things that I thought were like the best. And then I started shopping from my own store. So I swapped out my shampoo and conditioner. I swapped out my cosmetics. I swapped out, my Diet Coke for Fizz Sticks. That was really hard, but turns out it's a really good decision. So you can do it out there. If you're Diet Coke lovers, you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. I swapped out like baby stuff. I swapped out the stuff for my daughter. I had a 9-year-old at the time, which I'm so thankful that as a 9-year-old from 9 to 14, now she's only used clean products. And then I started just sharing it with people. First, I started sharing it with like my close friends and my family because they're first. They have to listen. And then beyond that, it's amazing how quickly you are starting a conversation with someone, and it either lands on like, gosh, where'd you get that? Or what do you use? Or what do you do? Or what do you like to do? It's crazy how quickly you can either start talking about what we have for products because of the healthy living, the nutrition, and because of our personal care. Like we just cover so many bases. And then because of the business, because people are always often curious, like, oh, okay, well, what do you do? How do you like to spend your time? And it actually kind of flows into conversation. And there's also a system for all of this. I was really panicky about that. I was like, I don't know. I don't want to make a bunch of PowerPoints and documents, and I don't know how to do this. I don't know what I'm doing. You don't have to know what you're doing. You don't have to know anything about the products. You don't have to know anything about how this business works. You just have to trust your sponsor. You just have to know that you want something more. You want to change something in your life, and that you believe that these products have something to offer, and that this business has something to offer. So you don't have to know anything. You don't have to be an expert at all. Okay, so we swap our stuff, we start sharing, and then when that happens, guys, when that starts happening, people kind of fall in kind of one of three spots, So people either are like, you know what, I want to try using some of those products. That sounds kind of cool. Okay, great. So they become a client and they shop, and then what happens is Arbonne just ships that direct from them, from Arbonne to the person you were talking to your new client. So I'm not driving around with a trunk load of, lipstick. I don't have it in my house. I don't have none of that. Arbonne does everything. You're just the connector. And then Arbonne says, thank you for doing that. And then we are actually paid on the amount of product that kind of flows through our organization. So when you start, you're an organization of one. So you're paid on the product that flows through your organization. But then as you start talking to more people, some people want to be customers, and then some people want to do what you're doing. You'll find people who are wanting more time. They're wanting more flexibility. They're wanting a cushion at the end of the month, or they're wanting income replacement. This really can be all of that. And so those people want to join your team. So when that happens, you just teach them how to do what you just got taught how to do, like the best copycat, right? So you just teach them how to do what you were taught how to do, get them rolling, help them find people who want those same things. And then more product is flowing through the organization that's attached to you. And so Arbonne, you get a percentage of that. So that's how that works. That's how you keep doing the exact same thing, but you're leveraging your time. You're teaching and training other people how to do what you're doing. And rest assured, like, you don't have to raise your hand, but how many people on this call have you taught how to do your job? Have you trained someone in? Whether it was you're a lifeguard over the summer, or you're an intern somewhere, or your job now, that is just part of your job. You just train somebody in. But if you train them in really, really well, guaranteed, this didn't work on, we had interns, dietetic interns coming through all the time. And like, had to train them in, tell them what you're doing. When they went off and got a job, I did not get a check every month for a portion of their salary because I taught them how to do it. Arbonne does that. That's how you keep doing your same work, but you teach other people how to go and do their work, and everyone's a volunteer. So I think sometimes there's this stigma of like, oh, you're getting, like having people do your work for you. That is so not how this is. You're helping build other people's dreams. You're helping other people get what they are wanting out of this. And when you do that, when you help people get what they want out of this, that's when you get what you want out of this. So it's an opposite. It actually works the opposite. So, and so what does that like? What does that look like? What does this, this pay look like? And so when you start as one person, it's commission. So, like when I first started, my first customer, she loved the skincare. She purchased the skincare, and I was like, awesome. Okay. And so I got a commission for that. And then I kept talking to more people. Some people wanted to join my team. And so more product was flowing through my organization, and I promoted to district manager. That's the first level of management. And you're not managing anyone. It's just a title. You're helping people. And with that, it's $250 to $1,000 a month. So that can be groceries. That can be a car payment. That can be paying down some debt. That can be like a great date night once a week, whatever you want that to be. That's what district manager is. And there's a system to get there in 30, 60, 90 days. So it's not like, you just move at your own pace. Your goal, the only goals are the goals you have. This isn't something where you plug into and it's not a job. I think sometimes it's so hard to get out of that job mentality. This is not another job. This is yours. You own this. You move at the pace you want to move. Your goals are yours. We just come alongside you and help you get there. We know how to help you get there. So area manager is the next level. So you keep working your business. You keep helping, you keep sharing, you help the people you've brought onto your team, help them start theirs. And guys, this is all like 10 to 12 hours a week. So know that too. It's 10 to 12 hours a week in like chunks of time. So it's not a full-time situation. So area manager is the next level. At this level, it's about about 1,400 to 4,000 a month. And it's willable at this point. So if something were to happen to me, my husband would get my Arbonne checks as long as he kept my ID active, like renewed my, for $30 a year, he would get my Arbonne checks, which is, it's really unheard of, but what it does, you guys, is it really speaks to the culture of this company. I think if there's two things. If it's this and the car allowance, that really, really speak to kind of the culture of Arbonne taking care of their consultants. They get it, guys. They get that we're the front lines. If we're not feeling cared for, if we're not happy, they know that we're not going to go share this with joy in our heart. Like, we're not going to go share this with people. And they know that if that doesn't happen, then there is no Arbonne. And so they love on us. Like, the culture is crazy. So who else does that? I don't know of any other company that something were to happen to you, that your paycheck would go to your loved ones. That's ridiculous. So there's that at area manager. The next level is regional vice president. This is the level that I'm currently at. And this is $5,000 to $15,000 a month. So this surpassed my dietitian income by far. And this, you also get an $800 car allowance to drive a white Mercedes-Benz. So that's the other thing. Our founder was really particular about the type of car because he wanted it to be safe. He knew that we were, again, like family people. Like, we were going to be driving around sometimes with our kids or with our loved ones. He wanted us to be safe. And so that's why that vehicle. The next level is national vice president. So at this level, it's 21,000 is the average, and a little bit more for your car allowance. And so when you think about that, that number, like, think about, like, you're pretty covered at that point, right? Like, usually the mortgage is paid for, hopefully. Like, wow, I can't even imagine what a mortgage on a house, I'm sure there is one, probably like Jay-Z and Beyonce, that's probably their mortgage. I don't know. But for most people, that's pretty much covers your bills, right? What can you do with that, you guys? Like, what can you give? It's crazy to think about, like, what you're then able to just, like, put forth into the world to make it a better place at that point, if that's something that you care about. So that's, like, the breakdown. That's the quick and dirty breakdown of, like, what the comp plan is. And so with this, I want you to think about, because there are a lot of companies out there that have a compensation plan. It's based on, sharing products with other people. Why us? What makes us different? And this is really, really important. Arbonne is positioned right now to have massive expansion. We have the products that everyone is looking for. Everyone is looking for not only, like, healthier products. People are specifically looking for gluten-free, dairy-free, and not just in their nutrition, in their personal care. People are getting really, really savvy. No one's going to wake up and not care anymore about looking good and feeling good. So we have got that going on. The other thing that we absolutely have going on is that we're consumable. That is huge, guys, when you're looking at a business like this. So what happens is that people purchase these products and they have a budget for it. It's not something that's outside their budget. People have shampoo and conditioner in their budget, and it's a lifetime expense. They're not going to be like, okay, well, you know what, next we've got a couple more months on that shampoo and conditioner and then we're done forever. No, it's forever. And so when people use it, they use it up and they reorder it. That is passive income. So the first reorder I remember getting, my first client reordered some of her skincare. I about fell over. I was like, this works. This thing really, really works. And it clicked and it made sense. And then I thought of it on a large scale. Like, what if this keeps happening with the people I talk to? And then I help people and they talk to people and they reorder things. So not only are you sharing something with someone the first time, but when they reorder it, that's a passive reorder. They go online, they do it themselves, because that's what most people want to do anyway, is go just be independent. So you help them be independent, knowing they can come to you if they need something. But then when they reorder it, it just shows up in my volume. It's bananas. So that is why this is makes so much sense. We're consumable. We are health and wellness that follows a crazy strict ingredient philosophy, and we're entrepreneurs, and it's digital. We don't have to carry anything. That's the other thing. We can be traveling around wherever we are, up the cabin, another state, another country. As long as we have a phone or a laptop, we have a business. We have an open door. So what I want you guys to do is just really think about it. Like, lean in. Did you hear a number in there that would just lighten your load a little bit or make you just kind of dream again? That can be a couple $100s a month. That can be income replacement if you're looking for it. It can be anything in between. But guys, the time is going to go by anyway, right? So think about that. Like, what if a year from now or 6 months from now, things could look completely different? The time's going to go by anyway. Why not? Why not start building this right now? So think about what that number could do and get really excited about it. And then, get with the person who asked you to take a look at this and give them a number, like 1 to 5. 1 being, I'm super jazzed about these products. Show me how to, get on board with that. I'd love to start swapping them out. 5 being, wow, what's next? Like, okay, show me what's next with this. Like, what would I actually do to move forward and like start my own business? And guys, it's as easy as that. You can start. I helped somebody get started today. It literally took like 35 minutes, like, to do it, seriously. So it is that easy. So I am just really thank yourselves for getting on this call tonight, taking the time out of your busy day to hear more. You know what? The information is free, and it's doing yourself a favor to have this information. Even if you don't do anything with it, at least you know. So thank you for getting on here, taking some time, hearing this out, and get with the person who asked you to take a look. And have a fabulous evening. And I hope to see you again soon. Good night.